friend who lives a block away recorded this.
America.
So that was my friend who lives a block away, who has the black '04 Mustang Mach 1 that you may have seen on the channel a few times. And, you know, we get together and hang out and have some fun and work on cars and drive around and stuff. But every time I start one of my Mustangs, he'll text me and guess which one it is. And he's pretty good. He's got it down pretty good. Sometimes there's a few tricky ones where my brother might be visiting with his Mustang, or another friend has their Mustang over and he'll guess incorrectly, but usually he's pretty accurate. So my son and I took the Bullitt around town, went to a few places, and as we were driving around, we found in the parking lot a 2000 Performance Red Mustang GT convertible. You can see it has the Borla exhaust like my yellow GT has. You don't see many of those. It's kind of a period correct thing. But you can see the no hood scoop being a GT, the spoiler, and no 35th anniversary badge would make this a 2000. But a very nice white interior, and it was a stick shift, so kind of cool to see. So we got some ice cream and we went to a park nearby, and it was just fun to hang out and let him play on the playground while I enjoyed seeing my car here in this nice park, and just enjoyed walking around and looking at it. And everywhere I was at the park looking over the car just looked fantastic, looked like a magazine photo shoot. Beautiful looking car. And I saw this 96 to 98 white Mustang GT, and it was parked at the house near the park, so I had to take some video. You can see the paint's flaking off it, but pretty cool to see. It had, you know, some aftermarket wheels and a younger guy outside with it, so looks like somebody has a cool V8 Mustang to enjoy. And then we went to another park, and we went around just going to different parks and hanging out and going to the grocery store to get different things, and just thought it'd be a fun day to hang out and chill. So I parked here, and my twin brother actually saw the car here when he came to the store and texted me, and then we met up in the store. So after we got home from the store, we laid out our loot on the carpet. I like to hang out here with the family and just enjoy relaxing and being around the cars in the shade, let the car cool down, and just enjoy being out here. So I took the Bullitt over to my brother's house for a little bit and just hung out there. So fun to see the car there. And then we took the silver GT. My wife and I took it out to a different church function that was at a building that was farther away, so it was nice to take the GT out there, go for a little drive, just enjoy being together and hanging out. And I just love walking out to the GT. Everywhere I go, it's just a neat car to have around. It's a great daily driver, a great mile eater, and it's still a really nice car. Lower mileage, just around 82,000 miles on it now, and so we enjoy to drive together. So the next day was a Sunday, and we took the silver GT to church, and I found a nice parking spot here, a little closer to the curb there. Gives me plenty of space, and it's nice to take this GT to different places and daily drive it and have something fun that I can take out here and not really worry about. We were at the church another day, and then we went to soccer practice, and just hanging out and going all over the place with it. And as for the yellow GT, it's under the carport, and there's this neighborhood cat that's adopted us, and he just loves hanging out here, and he'll hanging out on the car. I don't really like walking on it. I usually have a cover on the car, but the wind was blowing a lot and it was raining, so the cover was kind of flipped around and I just took it off. And the Bullitt was still outside from when I drove it, so it got rained on, and it's okay, it needed a wash anyway. So it's been kind of crazy weather lately, lots of rain here and there, and it's supposed to be clear and then it rains again. So Silver GT doing a great job as the daily driver and taking on the rain so the other cars don't have to, and looking good here at soccer practice. It was actually a soccer game, and man, it just started raining on us like crazy, and so it's fun to have the car for that reason and not have to worry about it in the rain. So my wife took it and met up with us, and we drove different cars, and I had the Tahoe and she just was driving it around in the rain. So I tried to gently clean off the ugly rain dirt water that was on the Bullitt for the last couple days, but when I got home the next morning, there was a lot of condensation and some frost on the car, so it didn't really help much. But it was just one of those situations where I would clean it up and then it needed to be cleaned up again, and I just needed to put it underneath the carport, but I didn't have time to shuffle cars around and get it back under there. So it's not a big deal. The car can get wet sometimes, and it needs a bath sometimes anyway, so it's all right to clean it up and stuff. But so my friend Koa, who lives up in northern Utah, has this beautiful white 04 Mach 1. He just put the LMR wheels on it. Looks great. And he shows me Mach 1s he finds around and other Mustangs, and this is my cousin's Mach 1 he spotted up there. And he also showed me a picture of this Bullitt Mustang, which I didn't catch at first. I was looking at the orange and just seeing if it was repainted a different color orange or wrapped orange. And he pointed out that it was a Bullitt. And I was like, oh, you're right, it is. And his friend had sent him that picture. And up there in northern Utah, there was this red fire Terminator that was wrecked really bad. Somebody kind of ran him off the road in the rain. And another updated picture of that car that I've come across is here. Looks like it's in the wrecking yard. Really sad to see it like that. Terrible. So my wife's going to take the GT and I'm going to take the Bullitt. We're going to go somewhere. So we took both of the Mustangs with our family, and we went and got frozen yogurt, and we went and got some Taco Bell over there too, and just hung out. It was nice to have the two cars together. They look good. It's like a his and hers kind of thing. So both great looking cars together, and it's fun to have a nice place to sit outside here and enjoy the view of the two Mustangs. I just think they look great together. And then even from inside the building, they look really cool. So I just love having these cars out and about and being able to enjoy them together. So I went out and I was hanging out in the parking lot looking at the cars, and I saw a little green catch my eye. So I walked over and found this Fox body Mustang. Looks like it still has the 4 lug on it, and it's kind of cool to see. And then here's the Mustangs again, looking really good together at every angle. Just love hanging out with the cars and enjoying some time. Saw that cool LS1 black Trans Am. You don't see many like this around here anymore, at least. So same generation as my cars. I always liked the muscle cars of that era. I did see this picture of a Mustang that was like basically bent in half after an accident. I did notice that it was actually a convertible, so somebody had pointed out it had a roll bar. But this is just a reminder for everyone to be safe. I'll go home and I'll go through the Facebook pages and everything, and it's amazing what you see sometimes. The good news is I believe everyone was okay in the accident. It just looked really bad, but it was an interior upgrade package and premium wheel GT, so really too bad to see a cool car like that get destroyed. You never know what the reason was. Sometimes you can find out in the article. Took the silver GT to the store. You can see a performance red V6 convertible back there. I've seen that car around, and I spilled some crumbs in it, so I vacuumed it out just in time for my wife to take it. So getting some wind here. Looks like some more storms will be coming through. So at least I got the bullet under the carport and out of the elements. But it rained all night, and took the GT to the store again, and drove it around in the rain. And the bullet's still a little dirty, but at least it was covered this time. And wet roads, gonna take the GT places. 2 of our boys have soccer games at the same time, so she's going to take the silver GT, and I figured I'll take the yellow GT since, the weather's been kind of weird, wet roads, and I just haven't driven it for a little while. So I got to the other park across town where my son had his soccer practice, and I had the yellow GT. Beautiful place. This park is where I used to play soccer as a kid, and so it was fun to come here with the GT. There's a lot of traffic, a really busy street right there, and as I watched the cars driving around and got to enjoy seeing my GT here, I thought about the cars I own and the cars that I see around town, and I watched the cars go by and wondered if there was, a car that I'd like to have, something newer or different, and I just couldn't think of anything. And it got me to thinking about back when I was here in the earlier years, like 20 years ago, and seeing cars go by, just getting my driver's license, and thinking about some of the cars that used to be in town that aren't here anymore. And I was wondering whatever happened to those cars. So we see all these kind of bland, basic cars driving by, but some of those cars I was thinking about were these. This was a Laguna Seca blue BMW M3. There was one here in town. I don't know whatever happened to it. There was a white Terminator 03, and the guy had sold that car. It went back east, so I know that car's not around anymore. This is my car, but it's basically representing the torch red Terminator that was in town that I don't know what happened to. And then there was the green Bullitt Mustang I talk about, the first Mustang I ever rode in. And that car I know is up in northern Utah now. Then, of course, the Granny GT. I know where that car is now, and my brother and I are still visiting up with that car. So kind of fun to think of that, about the cars in town, and reminisce a little bit. So I went and got something to eat in the GT after soccer, and then now back in the silver GT, daily driving it. Went to drop some stuff off at the library. Then I took this picture of the wheel spacers for my friend Zach. He wanted to put them on his 99 35th anniversary GT, and so he's going to come over and do that. And my nephew's coming over as well to work on his Rio Red 98 GT. It's having a problem. We thought it was the alternator, but we're going to look into a few things. Our friend had mentioned that with his 96 GT, the bulb on the battery light indicator on the cluster was dead and causing it to not let the battery charge, supposedly. So we thought we'd try that out first. There's the battery indicator one there. We pulled the cluster out, we pulled the bulb out, and it looked pretty good. So we went ahead and swapped out the bulb anyway with another one I had. But then I test drove the car with him, and it just started dying, and the gauges were freaking out, and I thought, I wonder if there's a bad ground. And now he's had a problem with his car draining the battery with a sound system he put in it, so he's been unplugging the negative battery terminal. So we just took it for a test drive, and as we're driving, it was like wigging out, tach was dying, car dying, lights flashing. And it appears the ground is messed up here. That's what my next guess was going to be, is come out here and check the ground. So we discovered that basically from disconnecting that ground all the time from his sound system dying, every time he drove the car, he was slightly destroying that ground wire. It might have been, pinched or cut or whatever. So Zach got the car with the spacers on it, neighbors over there working on the Corvette, and we got this thing all fixed. There's 13.2, okay. So it's working. Pull your gauges on and see. Okay. All right, let's go for a drive and see if it wigs out again. You said the stereo head unit was being weird too?
It would just turn off and then turn back on.
Like by now?
Yeah, by now it would turn off.
We're still at 13.0. 12.8, 12.9. Anything over 12, we know it's charging. And the alternator's not spinning very fast right now at idle, but charging at 13.0. Keep it in first and go to like 2,500 RPM. Just kind of hold it at 2,500. You're still at 13. Okay. So far, so good?
Yeah. I think that was it. That.
Take the bullet out for a little bit. So it turned out to be a very nice day, apart from all of that rain we've seen lately. So the bullet's looking good out here. And I just wanted to take it here to Walmart and get some snacks and just go to the store and drive around in this nice area. This is a very special place. You know, I grew up here as a kid, so it's the same place I go now because it's close to my new house. There's this V6 here, and it had some interesting stuff to it. Repainted blue, it looked like, and it had a horse with a skeleton on it, and the side had some horse graphics as well, some kind of interesting. bird on top of the bullitt.
Oh my goodness.
Get away. Get off there. Here you. Yeah, that's right. Get to stepping. Get to stepping. Speaking of true blue bullets, someone sent me a picture of this one that was for sale. It's kind of cool to see. It's nice when you see they're still out there and that people are appreciating them. I saw this 05 to 09 Mustang GT parked at the high school. This car is in my neighborhood, and I think a younger high school kid owns it. And that's a really cool car. And I thought to myself, wow, he's got a newer Mustang. That's really nice. And then it dawned on me that that car today would be just as old as my friend's 86 Fox body was when I was in high school. And that seemed like an older car. And so I'm surprised that that car has aged so well, to me at least. I'd say a 3-valve Mustang still looks pretty new, and I still consider it a newer car, probably because it's newer than all of my cars. But it takes me back to actually think that an S197 Mustang is as old as a Fox body was to me when I was in high school. And that is just really hard to wrap my head around. I told that to my brother, and he was like, wow. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I feel like the younger generations are really lucky because they get the cars now at an affordable price that I could only dream of having back then. So I was enjoying hanging outside with the toy car collection. I made a whole video about this, bought some SN95 Mustangs and some Shelbys and stuff. Driving by the temple in the morning, beautiful. Love seeing this place. Driving the GT some more, but it's time to get the red Terminator out. It's been a little bit, so let's go have some fun in the red Cobra. Man, I really love this car. I mean, some of these are just beautiful garage queen, enjoyable weekend warriors, and the other ones I get to daily drive. Love the carbon fiber on this car, so I added the carbon fiber inlays in the bumper to match the carbon fiber that the 10th anniversary comes with. And so beautiful car, beautiful condition, and it was good I took this out because the rain's coming again. Supercharger's not even hot from driving it around. Nice efficient blower. So back to the GT in the rain, and I love driving the GT as well. It's a breath of fresh air just to drive it around and enjoy and not have to worry about it. And I still park it out by the parking lot where people aren't going to hurt it, but still a nice car to not worry about as much. Went to the temple with my wife, the house of the Lord. Beautiful time to be together and spend time together worshiping our Savior Jesus Christ and our Heavenly Father, and that's very important to me. So took the GT there, let it sit out in the rain, and then my younger brother had interest in going to look at the supercharged Coyote Mustang, competition orange, really cool car, and he asked me to come along and check out the car and see what I had to say about it. And there's a lot to be said about this. Okay, so it's a beautiful car, about 70,000 miles, but it is supercharged, so you have to be careful what you're buying when you have something that has boost, that didn't come with boost especially. You got to make sure that it's a safe engine, that nothing's been melted or messed up on it. And this car is actually a rebuilt title car. It was hitting the front driver's side here pretty hard. But it did have a really cool 2.3 liter roushcharger on it. And so the problem is it has a 3.0 pulley. And that on pump gas is a big no-no around here. So I don't know what this car's about because it's on a 91 tune. That's not okay. It said it was dyno tuned at 630. Wheel horsepower in Phoenix, 623. And there's a lot of question marks, and the guy didn't know anything about the tune.
Scrape it on that. That's a pretty drastic driveway, huh? Oh, that feels good. Oh, I do like that. It feels like a hydraulic clutch, too.
It is. It's hydraulic. Pretty quiet for having a tax on it. Probably still has cats.
Yeah. That was full throttle right there.
It went to 5.
That's full throttle.
Weird. It's like rating 5 on that. If that's air fuel, that's weird. I was trying to figure out if it was making 5 psi of boost or if that was an air-fuel ratio gauge, maybe in lambda or something with a dual gauge where one part of it's boost and one's lambda or something, but that wouldn't even make sense either. My AEM gauge has boost on the perimeter and then a air-fuel readout in the center, but this was just boost. It was boost on the outside and digital readout, and so it was only making 5 pounds, which was way off for having a 3.0 pulley. That should be making like 17 pounds or more. It should be doing a lot. And so I think what we have here is an issue where the NOx sensors are totally mad at the engine for being on pump gas. It might even be on an E85 tune still, and the car is just not running like it should. To me, it should be all mechanical with a supercharger that's belt driven like that. As soon as you hit the gas, it should be full boost. But with the Coyotes having cam phasers, maybe they're completely retarding the cams or, allowing some overlap, letting the boosts escape. There's just a lot of stuff that could be going on here with a Coyote's tuning process. They're such newer cars with more parameters and onboard air fuel in the computer. And so it was probably just running weird and just shutting stuff down and not letting the car do what it's supposed to. It might even let some boost out of the bypass. I'm not sure how it all works with this generation Mustang compared to mine, but it was not running very good. My brother would floor it, and it just felt really sluggish and only make 5 psi. So there's obviously something that needs to be addressed here, and hopefully the car is safe and it wasn't messed up. It could even be only making 5 pounds of boost because it's got a bunch of blow by and it's just, you know, allowing all the boost to escape into the crankcase. You never know what's going on here with a used car like this. And so people who are way into coyotes would probably know better than me. So if you do know, put it down in the comments.
Yeah. Something's not right with this. So here's 4,000. Something's wrong.
Oh, you know what? That might be in Lambda. I wonder if that's in...
Something's wrong with it. That feels like 400 horse to me.
It pulled hard, but I wonder if...
I don't know. And then it kind of cut out halfway through the power band.
It pulls pretty hard, but
I think so. I think I'm just too used to the Z06.
Yeah, right.
Is that a 6-speed?
Yeah, it's a 6-speed.
Yeah, at this point I'm kind of worried about breaking it because something's not right. I'd hate to have something go out on it, so we'll just take it.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's reverse on this 6-speed.
All the way up and over like that.
Yeah, try that.
Well, is there a ring on the bottom?
Yes.
Up, all the way left. So ring up, all the way over. There.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
What's that? Oh, that's okay.
There you go. Notice that the tire was shredding on the inside, the belt was showing, and the wheel was way out of alignment. And so if you look at the picture of when it was wrecked, it could have some serious control arm damage, stuff that maybe didn't get fixed right or wasn't aligned right. And so my brother passed, and then somebody else bought the car, and here they are a week later trying to flip it for $28,000. The other guy had it listed for $23,000. And so it's just like, you know, this was a big slaughter. And I had put a comment on that page, but then I deleted it because I just didn't want to get in the guy's business. But, you know, that car had some serious problem. You know, when the guy was trying to flip it, he said, I bought this and it's just not what I wanted. So, and you know, he's just flipping it. You look at his other sales stuff that's all sold and there's just tons of cars on there. So he was just trying to flip it. And, you know, just to me, that bugs me. Just be honest. Say, hey, you know, I have this car for sale. Here's the details. And if somebody asks how long have you had it and you say a week, you know, let them figure it out. But you don't make up a lie that you bought it and then you decided that you wanted something different, because we know that's not what's going on here. So I tried to put a different tune on the Bullitt that I had in the programmer, but then I was worried that it was the startup tune that I had. Because the new tune, the traction control's not tuned off, and it kind of bugs me that I have to turn off all the time, and it might run better on the older tune that I had when I got it tuned. But anyway, so I just did that, but then I put it back onto the tune it's had since the last time it was tuned. So we went to a swimming center, and while everyone was inside swimming, I came out to see the Bullitt and how good it looked in the parking lot, just for fun. You know, there's something about when you're swimming and then you go out and see the car. To me, you know, I don't know what it is about it. It's just kind of fun to enjoy the cars, and as it's starting to get springtime and stuff like that. Saw the sad picture of an '01 Cobra that was in a storm and a tree fell on it. And here's a laser red or a red fire GT that a tree had fell on, and people were just sharing these pictures. This was the original post. Guy or lady, can't remember who it was, had said that this tree had fallen on their car, and it actually did more damage than you think. I mean, it doesn't look too bad at first glance, but then when you start looking at how many scratches and dents it left on the car, it's really too bad. You know, like the roof's dented in pretty bad. And, you know, this is all cosmetic. The car still runs and drives just fine. So it's sad if a car like this gets sent off to insurance and totaled out for this. But you can see the scratches were really bad on this. So it was really sad to see. So hopefully that car gets fixed and they can continue to enjoy it. So I decided to go ahead and clean the Bullitt. It needed a wash, and I wanted to just get it all cleaned up after all these storms and dust and wind and stuff that's been going on. So Bullitt looking a lot better now, and it was just a good time to go out now that all the weather's passed and enjoy cleaning it up. And then I can go through and do some wet and dry microfiber spot cleaning, which is what I like to do after I wash the car. If there's some spots left over, just get a nice wet microfiber towel and then a dry one and just wet dry the car down. So just trying to take care of it and enjoy it. And you know, there's something about taking care of your vehicles, and when you love a car a lot and you spend a lot of time cleaning it and working on it, you become closer with the car and it becomes part of you. And so that's just something I was thinking about as I was cleaning up the Bullitt and just enjoying having it around. And it's been outside a little bit more lately and everything. And, you know, it's not in the garage like the other ones are as much. It does have the big carport now. But I was thinking, well, I'd rather have this as an alternative to not owning the car, so I can still have the car, I can enjoy it and take care of it, even if it's not, you know, in the garage all the time. At least it's protected and it's mine, and I'd rather me have it than, you know, not have it, because that's the alternative. But anyway, beautiful Bullitt. I love the true blue, how it looks in the sun. The car looks dark, looks black a lot, you know, but when the sun hits it just right, that true blue is a beautiful color. So tucked it away next to the GT here in the garage or carport, and whoa! Hi. So I enjoyed the movie Logan Lucky. My little sister showed it to me and bought the DVD for me, and it has the blue GT350, grabber blue with white stripes. Awesome looking car. And I got kind of curious. I found this picture about the car during filming. I wondered where the car was, but I put a post out and nobody said anything about it. Funny thing is, on the earlier posters, it was a yellow GT350. So I thought that was kind of cool. But anyway, got the Bullitt up on jacks for a second. The exhaust pipe sometimes will twist on the cat back, and I have to get under there and just kind of twist it back and tighten it down. It'll gently rub against the subframe if not. Then I took out the back seat of the car just for fun. I wanted to get a look at the Bullitt hologram sticker, and I made this video just to kind of show people where it was as well. So this is where it is on a Bullitt, on the frame underneath the back seat. There's one that's on the strut tower as well. There was one more sticker produced during assembly that got thrown away. Some say it went into a mason jar, into a time capsule with the other ones, and then they created one more fourth hologram sticker to replace the one on the strut tower because the ones on the strut towers got worn out. So there's a Coyote convertible, and here's the Bullitt. We decided to take it to soccer practice or soccer game, and park it where hopefully it'd be safe. And Anyway, but it's really cool. The bullets are special. They have that cool hologram sticker, and Ford decided it was too much of a hassle, so they didn't do it with the Mach 1, and they incorporated the R in the VIN number for the Mach 1s to make them special. But anyway, bullet looking good, and I needed to go put some fuel in it. I tried to put the 91 clear in it because it sits a lot, and that way the ethanol doesn't gunk things up. So it's a lot more expensive than normal 91 around here, but maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. I don't know. I just hope it doesn't gum up the fuel injectors, so that's why I try to use that, because the 10% ethanol can be hard on the fuel system. So I was just hanging out on my nice carpet pad that I roll out in the driveway where I can get a good view of the cars and enjoy the sunset. Beautiful evening. And I thought it'd be nice to take the blue Mach 1 out. The Mach 1 looking fantastic. I had to go pick up a pair of soccer cleats that we bought for one of my sons on Marketplace, and so I took the blue Mach 1 to go pick them up. Luckily, they were nearby. Mach 1 looking great. Then I went down to Vegas. There's some fighter jets at Nellis taking off and landing, and we went down and found this Lincoln Aviator. And if you know about the Aviators, they have the same engine as an automatic Mach 1. And the best part about that is the cylinder heads are really good. As a matter of fact, the 03 Cobra and the Mach 1s got the cylinder heads from the Lincoln Aviator program. So these are the DC casting heads, so even more revised and better than the ones that came on the Mach 1s and the Terminators. But they're 9-thread cylinder heads, 9-thread per spark plug, and this was a good set of heads that was down there. We got them off. I went with my friend because his dark shadow gray Terminator had a catastrophic engine failure, and so he's looking for some good engine parts, and so this was a good way to get these nice cylinder heads. And while we were down there, I found this 40th anniversary V6. You can see it has the folding Cobra mirrors on it, but by the time I got to it, the mirrors were gone. Arizona beige stripes. Mirrors are gone. Bezel's gone. Was my brother's white GT and his red Mach 1. We did some stuff together and drove those around. Then I pulled out the orange Cobra so that I can organize the garage, and it looked beautiful out here in the sunlight. I just had to get some video of it. It sits underneath the plastic cover a lot, and man, is this car beautiful. It's just a pleasure to own this car, and I wanted to get it out and go for a drive, but the time didn't permit it, so I organized the garage and everything and then just pulled it back in. So the Cobra moved like a total of 10 feet. But Beautiful car, beautiful day. You can see how nice it stays with that plastic cover on it. That keeps it really nice, so I don't have to wash the dust off of it all the time. So I just really enjoy that. But man, Competition Orange, 34,000 miles, beautiful car. I need to get it out more and enjoy it. But I have so many Mustangs to enjoy, I don't feel bad. You know, I'll get it out more soon. Took the blue Mach 1 and I met up with my wife. She had the GT and she was out and about, and we were meeting up to go to a car meet, and like we were going to eat together, so we did. And then I went on to go to a car meet where they gave you a free ice cream milkshake or a root beer float if you brought your car to the car show. So it was kind of fun. So I went and enjoyed doing that. And so before that show started, we met up here at the park and had dinner together. You know, I just went and got some Taco Bell, and we got that and ate it and had fun together and went for a walk. And then we met up with my friend Patrick. There's my wife driving away in the GT. So after that, my son and I were still hungry, so we went to McDonald's and got something to eat, and then just enjoyed seeing the Mach 1 here in the parking lot. And then here's the GT hanging out on Sunday morning, getting ready for a church meeting. So that's the update for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.